Hey guys, this video is about if rabbits miss you. Even though this is an informal rabbit care video, still take the information I'm providing with a grain of salt. I believe this is still a topic worth discussing, even if the observations may not be 100% accurate. Feel free to correct me if I get any information wrong. With that out of the way, let's get into it. If you have an established bond with your rabbit and clearly care for each other, then you may notice some differences with your rabbit if you are away from them for a while. If you have someone that takes care of your rabbit every so often, even once every year or half a year, your rabbit might be able to rest easy knowing they will be in a safe place if it's not their first time with your rabbit sitter. For example, when my rabbit Sandy returned from her rabbit sitter after 6 weeks, she not only explored the other side of my house, which she hadn't done for the first year that we had her, but she also went into everyone's bedrooms and peed on all the beds, and she seemed confused in general. She had been in our home for over a year, and then all of a sudden she was put with someone else for 6 weeks and was back at our house. I don't think she forgot who we were, but she was surely very confused. Rabbits will remember their owners based on how they treat them and what voice tone they often have. If you have a positive relationship with your rabbit and not a negative one, then your rabbit will associate you with positivity as opposed to negativity. Having an established bond with your rabbit would take time and effort. As with most humans, rabbits like to have a consistent routine, especially regarding where they live and their owners. Once a rabbit has gotten used to the people that take care of them, whether that be one person or several people, a rabbit would have also gotten used to being around them. So when a rabbit is rehomed, they likely would miss their owners for a while, maybe a few days to a week, but then get used to the person taking care of them. Whether that person is taking care of them temporarily or permanently, aka getting rehomed, is very important here, and there is a distinct difference between the two, especially regarding how they will act based on how many times it's happened. As mentioned earlier, if you go on vacation or something for a week and your rabbit is taken care of by someone else, your rabbit's behavior could reflect on this. If it is necessary for your rabbit to be taken care of by someone else outside of your home, then make sure it is the same person that is reliable and is committed to taking care of your rabbit over the long run, as having a different person take care of them every time you go away would require your rabbit to be put in different environments constantly, which isn't good for them. But if when you do go away, they are with other people that they are used to or with someone that has already taken care of them before, then your rabbit will likely cope well with you going away, or at least cope better compared to all of a sudden being put into a new environment that they have never been in before. Regardless of how much your rabbit misses you, whether that be a lot or a reasonable amount, if your rabbit likes someone, whether that be one person out of several people or one person that takes care of them as well, it is important to know that your rabbit will miss the person or several people they like the most. Just how rabbit owners would miss their rabbits, rabbits can miss you or their favorite person just as much. There was one time where I went on a trip with one of my family members for 2 weeks. During this time, my house only had 3 people around, when it usually had 5 people around. When I returned, she was on the sofa and didn't even look at me. She was pretty much the same as before. She had the same posture as she usually does when she sits on the sofa by herself and she isn't sitting down. Her ears were up. Typically, this means that rabbits are paying attention and are ultimately alert. She probably did miss me, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she didn't even notice that I was gone, as she didn't exactly run towards me. And while I am probably not her most favorite person, as she tends to show affection towards one of my family members, she likely appreciates me as I give her a lot of attention. Stuff like emptying your litter box and cleaning your cage my other family members do. I feed Sandy sometimes, but the family member of mine that Sandy seems to prefer feeds her the most. I especially give her attention and take care of her the best I can when no one else is able to. Perhaps if I'm home alone or people are busy, but most of the time there are people around her or near her and give her attention and take care of her, so she gets more than enough human interaction to make up for her not having a rabbit friend. Back to the question though, think of it this way. Imagine from the perspective of a rabbit, you are used to having the same person feed you and take care of you for a while, and then all of a sudden your owner put you in a new environment or your owner is away for a while. If you haven't been in that environment before, you might connect the dots and think you are being rehomed, but if you have been there before, You might figure out that you will leave eventually. It is debatable on whether or not rabbits can tell time. That is a whole other topic, but surface level, rabbits probably won't be able to know that specifically in a week they will be back to their normal environment. They might be able to connect the dots that they'll eventually be back, and roughly when they'll be back. If you are being fed by someone and we're used to that, which could also be considered a routine, then you will likely be a little upset at first, but eventually adapt. Now, of course, being fed is not the only thing a rabbit would remember their favorite person or people for. How much of a bond you have with your rabbit affects how much they miss you. Rabbits do have the ability to not only remember their owners, but even recognize them after a long period of time. Regardless of how much your rabbit may like you, leaving a rabbit alone for long periods of time will still result in them getting depressed. If a rabbit is rehomed, it could take them time for them to get adjusted and used to their new environment, but can they remember their previous owners? Yes, if they had a good relationship with them, but if a rabbit had a bad experience, they might not want to remember that and purposely put it in the back of their mind. My rabbit Sandy was in 3 previous homes and lived with dogs, children, and other rabbits all at some point. I can't say for sure if she was neglected, but judging how she scared off a small dog one time, and our vet suggesting against getting a rabbit friend, I think it's safe to say the chance is there that she might have not had the best experiences in some of her previous homes. From what the previous owner that gave us Sandy said, she was bullied by a boy rabbit to the point where she couldn't leave her cage. As if for the 2 previous homes before that, she could have been picked up by dogs or not taken care of enough, especially if she was around children. That would have been very stressful for her. Hypothetically speaking, if I were to play dog whimpering sounds, Sandy probably wouldn't like it. Obviously, I have never done this, but it would make sense if it was what she would do, judging by the specific circumstances. Overall, if you miss your rabbit, then chances are that your rabbit would miss you just as much if you were suddenly away from them, assuming that you take care of them properly and are a good rabbit owner. However, if you are a bad rabbit owner and mistreat your rabbit, unless your rabbit just so happens to be a grumpy rabbit, which even then I would still question you, then put yourself in your rabbit's shoes. Think, if you were a prey animal being mistreated, would you want to see your owner again after having an opportunity to get away from them, assuming that the person who was taking care of your rabbit while you were gone is a better owner and has a better household than you? No, you would try to avoid your owner at all costs. How you treat your rabbit would reflect in their behavior and whether or not they're hesitant to be around you, so always be mindful of that. I have a family member that works night shifts, so she'll get back in the middle of the night quite often. Whenever she gets back, Sandy does circles around her, then jumps over the side of the sofa, then does a big jump from the floor onto the sofa, and then does binkies on the sofa. Eventually she calms down and rests. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!